The story begins with Naoto, a sophomore high school student, as he arrives at the library. Before entering the library, he hears someone talking loudly inside. As he enters the library, he sees a group of girls talking. He decides to sit away from them at the back of the library. Although the noise of the girls does not allow him to concentrate, one of the girls gets up to look for a book near him, which makes him so nervous he drops his backpack. Out of his backpack on the floor comes some papers with manga drawings he had made. The girls pick up the drawings and start teasing him. A moment later, 3 of the girls leave. Only one of them remains. She claims to be a first-year student and starts referring to him as senpai. Since he is a second-year student, the girl begins to tease him and his drawings to the point of making him cry. Before leaving, she gives him a handkerchief. At home, the boy becomes depressed because he has never cried in front of anyone. The next day, the boy, whom we will call Senpai from now on, enters his club's room. Behind him enters Nagatoro, who offers herself as a model for him to draw. Senpai rejects her, saying he doesn't want to draw people, but Nagatoro convinces him. When he finishes the drawing, Nagatoro asks him to close his eyes to give him his prize. Senpai thinks she is going to give him a kiss, so she teases him again. Senpai ends up crying again. On the way home from school, Nagatoro follows Senpai as they both go home the same way. Nagatoro continues to tease Senpai. In the middle of the teasing, Nagatoro pushes Senpai, causing him to fall into the water. Senpai gets up and is about to leave when Nagatoro asks him if he's angry, to which he says no. He asks her name and she introduces herself as Nagatoro. Another day, while Senpai is looking at a vampire manga in the art room, Nagatoro arrives. Senpai tries to hide the manga from Nagatoro, but fails. Nagatoro teases him about the manga's erotic content. Nagatoro tries to tease Senpai into biting him, but ends up grabbing Senpai's private parts by accident, squeezing it before letting go. On the way home, Nagatoro teases Senpai about what happened earlier in the art room. Another day at a restaurant, Senpai is spending his time drawing. At that moment, Nagatoro arrives at the restaurant with one of her friends and 2 boys. Senpai sees one of the boys trying to talk to Nagatoro. Senpai thinks she will tease the boy like she does with him, but instead she seems very bored. The other boy also tries to talk to Nagatoro, but also fails. On the way home, Senpai wonders if Nagatoro is just teasing him. At that moment, Nagatoro approaches him and Senpai wants to ask her something, but he doesn't. This makes Nagatoro start teasing him. Moving on, in the art club room, Nagatoro offers herself as a model for Senpai's drawing. She says she will undress, which makes him very nervous. Suddenly, Nagatoro takes off her clothes and shows that she is wearing a bathing suit, so she teases Senpai. Later, on their way home, they are caught in the rain, so they seek shelter in a hut in a park. At the hut, Nagatoro tells Senpai not to look at her because her underwear is showing through her wet uniform. Senpai thinks Nagatoro is teasing him again, so he looks at her and sees Nagatoro's underwear. Nagatoro and Senpai get embarrassed and he apologizes to her, but then she teases him again. As it seems that the rain is not going to stop, Nagatoro invites Senpai to her house, which was near them. At Nagatoro's house, they play video games while waiting for the rain to pass. Senpai beats Nagatoro in a match of the game, but then Nagatoro starts cheating and Senpai doesn't win again. Another day, Senpai looks for an empty seat in the school cafeteria, but can't find one. Nagatoro invites Senpai to sit with her and her friends. Nagatoro's friends tease Senpai, but Nagatoro does not let her friends touch Senpai. One of Nagatoro's friends asks Senpai if he is Nagatoro's boyfriend. When Nagatoro and one of her friends confront each other over a comment that she didn't like, Senpai stands up and says loudly that he is not Nagatoro's boyfriend. Later in the art club room, Nagatoro tells Senpai to stand up for himself when he is teased, or turn the teasing towards him into jokes. Nagatoro tries to teach Senpai, but it backfires and Senpai ends up touching her chest. Another day in the club room, Senpai is eating lunch when Nagatoro's friends arrive and start teasing him. They tease him because he has never touched a girl's breast. Senpai tries to run away, but is caught and forced to touch the breast of one of them, but then they reveal to him that it was only bread. At that moment, Nagatoro arrives with an angry face. Her friends see this and quickly flee. Only Senpai and Nagatoro are left in the club room. Nagatoro gets angry with Senpai, believing that he has touched her friend's breast. Senpai explains the misunderstanding and Nagatoro returns to her old self. Nagatoro bets Senpai in a game to guess where her premium bread is, but he ends up touching her breast by accident. On another day, Senpai waits for Nagatoro in the art club room because she will be the model for his drawing. Nagatoro arrives with a large couch that she sets up in the club room. Senpai and Nagatoro talk about compliments. Nagatoro tells Senpai that if he wants compliments, he should give them first. Nagatoro tells him that if he gives her a compliment, she will give it to him. Senpai gives Nagatoro some compliments, but when he expects compliments from her, she teases him. Afterwards, Nagatoro wants to model, but she makes Senpai so nervous that he is unable to draw anything. But when she falls asleep, he manages to draw her. When Nagatoro wakes up and sees the drawing, she first teases him with a prize, but then says the drawing is fine. Another day in the art club room, Nagatoro starts to tease Senpai, but Senpai ignores her. At that moment, Nagatoro's friends arrive and tell Senpai to go have fun with them and ignore Nagatoro. At that moment, Nagatoro wakes up screaming in the art room, scaring Senpai. It was all a dream. Nagatoro notices that Senpai covered for her and she gives him a compliment. Another day, Nagatoro teases Senpai by tickling him. Nagatoro tells Senpai that he should try and tickle her, but then she is too embarrassed and won't let Senpai tickle her. Moments later, Nagatoro shows him a video where they are shearing a sheep. She makes fun of Senpai's hair, but then she offers to cut his hair. Before starting, Nagatoro gets a call from her friends. They call her to the classroom. Nagatoro goes to the classroom and tells Senpai to come back later. Nagatoro's friends tricked her and they entered the art club room. They teased Senpai, saying that they will shave him. Nagatoro arrives and her friends quickly run away. Then Nagatoro cuts Senpai's hair. Another day, Nagatoro and Senpai are very hot, so they decide to buy snow cones, but the line is along in front of the store. They line up to buy snow cones, but Senpai notices that Nagatoro is very unwell because of the heat. He picks up Nagatoro and takes her to a park where he buys her a bottle of water. She then gratefully gives Senpai an ice cream. Later, on the way home, the two of them talk because summer vacation starts the next day. Then Nagatoro asks Senpai for his cell phone number. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for part 2.
俺は長瀞が描きたいんだ。いつものありのままの長瀞を。
なんで私なんですか？
一番魅力的だから。